Hey, welcome back to Marketing Clinic with Julian and Judith. We are going to talk about know your costs. Previously, Judith has been introduced, and you can still see that in your description. Please take your time to read and understand what Judith does. We have teamed together because you can't talk about money without talking about marketing, and you can't talk about marketing without talking about money. As you engage with us, you will definitely see where these two critical elements of your business come together. This is a mini interview. I'm going to be asking Judith lots of questions so you can learn from. It's time for implementation. We are not here for any form of perfection. So pull out your notes. You are going to spot some gaps from what Judith will be explaining to us. So we'll dive into it. The first question I have for Judith is, many business owners say things like, I'm making sales, but I'm not seeing profit. Why does this happen? And you know that we have received lots of these questions during the marketing clinic in the WhatsApp groups. I would like you to break this down so people can learn from you. Over to you, Judith.
Thank you very much, Julian. So we get a lot of this question. This happens more often than people realize. You see, many business owners are focused on making sales, but they haven't fully understood what it actually costs to run their business. Do you understand? So sales comes in, but the costs are unclear, and so the money disappears into expenses. What I simply mean is you don't know how much you're spending on a monthly basis. So when you actually make sales, you still cannot tell how that money goes because it goes into expenses that you are not clear about. So when you do not know your numbers, you may be selling a lot but still struggling to keep the business running smoothly. You struggle with paying yourself or even paying your suppliers or your vendors. So that's what will happen if you don't know what it costs you to run on a monthly basis. That's
So,
over to you, Julian. Thank you
how
very
do
much.
I know what it cost me in one line? How do I know what it cost me to run my business on a monthly basis?
So you put, let's say for a manufacturing business, you put what it costs you in different categories. For instance, what does it cost you in production? What does it cost you to buy input materials? That's your raw materials, your packaging. What does it cost you in overhead? Even some part of your capital. What does it cost you to buy your asset? What does it cost you to, there are other expenses that we may not be able to group into different categories. So let's call them miscellaneous. If you put all of this together in a month, that's what it costs you to run your monthly operations.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Judith. So we
Well,
during the marketing clinic, you kept on saying, start with your cost. And I remember that the first 2 or 3 cohorts, we started with marketing. But you kept on saying, start with costs. And I want you to tell us why you kept on insisting that we start with costs, and the subsequent cohorts, we actually started with the money foundation. So why is it important to start with cost?
okay. So it's simply because it represents the financial reality of every business. Now, cost is your reality. How much it costs you, how much you spend to run your business operations is the most important and underlying factor or cost you need to know. It represents your financial reality. Now, before thinking about how much profit you made, before setting your sales targets, you see, we are doing marketing and money together. But before you even start saying, okay, I'm going to sell X amount of product or sign up 10 clients this month, before you even decide how much you sell your products or your packages, if you're a service-based business, you must understand what it costs you to operate your business on a monthly basis. If you don't know that number, you're essentially running blind. Let's put it this way. You don't know you're spending 10,000 naira. You will actually be relaxed if you get in 2,000 naira as revenue because you don't have the knowledge that you have spent 10,000. But the moment you know you have spent 10,000, you have the idea of the fact that you need to bring in much more than 10,000 to be comfortable. Another fact is, if you know that you've spent 10,000 naira and your product is sold at 300 naira, you're already doing a rough calculation. You have a rough idea of the quantity of product you even need to sell. So that's the simple reason I say start with your cost. It makes your hustle clear. Let's put it in the Nigerian parlance. It makes your hustle clear. If you know you spent 1 million naira, you will not be as relaxed as someone that spent just 200,000 running their business.
Fantastic. Thank you. I still have more questions for you. When you say cost structure,
Okay.
remember we are all not on your area of expertise. So when we hear some of these things, especially me, and let me speak for myself, I'm coming from fine and applied arts, graphic design background. I stumbled into marketing. So when I hear some of these terms, they sound like Greek. So when you say cost structure, what exactly do you mean?
Okay, it's simply the total of all expenses required to run your business. Everything it costs you to run your business. Let's say a manufacturing business, it will include things like your overhead. You know your overhead, the money you spent paying bills, rent, internet, salaries. Now, secondly, it will include the cost of buying input materials and supplies, like your raw materials and your packages. It will include the cost of production. That's your production expenses. After you buy your raw material, you still need to spend money to produce what you have to sell, right? Some part of, it's a portion, just a little portion of your capital expenses, which is the money you spend buying your equipment, right? And even some miscellaneous costs that we can't, you spend them regularly, but it doesn't fall in any category. But once you're running your business, you spend them. Now, that's for a manufacturing business. All this money, if you put them together, you add them together, that's what it costs you to run on a monthly basis. For a service-based business like you, like myself, it can actually be our overhead, right? That money we spend on, you know what overhead contains now. What you spend on your overhead is your cost structure. So don't let the big name confuse you. So when we add up all of this, it makes our cost structure what we also call running cost, your monthly running cost. And this number is extremely very important because it determines the money you need to recover, really. You need to know it so that you know what you are doing. Over to you, Julia.
Beautiful. So cost structure has another name as the running cost.
Yes, be a running
Okay.
cost.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. So why is it that important for me to know my running cost? Why is it very important? What's the benefit? What happens if I know it? And what will not happen
Okay.
if I don't know it? What will happen to me?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Because that number represents the minimum amount your business must recover every month before we even start talking about profit. Let me put it in context. If your running cost in the month of January is 6 million, for instance, you have to recover that 6 million first and more before you start looking at profit. So if you know it, you will know the amount you're supposed to bring in as sales, right?
Yeah.
It will also help you make your sales target plans. That's your marketing plans. For instance,
Okay.
if I know I spent 6 million, I wouldn't be comfortable just talking to my church members about my product. I may start looking at doing ad. You see how knowing this is determining what I do with my marketing, the marketing effort I have to put in, right? So if
Yeah.
your business also does not generate this amount, like I spent 6 million and at the end of the month, I didn't bring in 6 million as revenue, you
Yeah.
actually know you're operating at a loss. Just knowing that alone, it makes you know you're operating at a loss. Then also, when it comes to, yes, just like you said, it's my area of expertise. We also use this running cost to calculate a lot of other things, like what is the profit percentage you need to add to every product you sell. It's from your running cost you get it. It's from your
Mhm.
running cost you even determine your sales target. Yeah, so those kind of things. So knowing this number gives you clarity and control.
I think this sales target thing you have mentioned is very, very important. We will have to dedicate a session, a recorded video, so that business owners can learn from that. Because this sales target has helped me when I worked with you some years back. And every day I wake up, I know what I'm waking up to chase. I strongly recommend, please note it, that we do a video on sales target. And I know that when you do your sales target, there is a weekly, daily, the way you broke it down for me. Business owners will need that from you. Thank you, Judith. I still have
Okay.
questions for you. Um, we're doing
Okay.
this based on the gaps that we spotted during the cohorts we have run so far for the marketing clinic. And questions are coming up, and we've decided to do this. And let me quickly say this: if this is your first time watching Judith and Julian, please subscribe if you're yet to do so. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the weekly videos that we upload. We want to help African business owners spot gaps, fix the broken foundations. Even some people don't have foundation based on what we have done so far. So this is a place where you identify those gaps around your marketing foundation, money foundation, digital marketing foundation. These are the core areas we focus on. So subscribe today, share this video, leave comments, ask questions, the way it affects you. Don't be shy. In fact, in the marketing clinic classes, we say our mantra is no shame, no forming, no pretense. Say it as it is. Nobody is looking at your face. We want your business to run profitably. So many entrepreneurs, from our experience, price their products. And I would always like to slide services. I know that your focus is light manufacturers, product-based businesses, but I have to put myself and my people into this thing that we're doing. So many entrepreneurs price their product based on competitors, market trends. They tell us that they look at what others have pegged their prices at, and that's what they are doing as well. What is the risk of doing this exact thing? I would like you to talk about it.
Okay, thank you for this very question. So the risk is that their cost structure may be completely different from yours. I give you an example. If we are both bakers, right, and I pay lower rent, I buy my raw materials, the flour, all the condiments, and that I use. If I buy it at bulk prices or bulk purchase, giving me discounted prices, and maybe I produce larger, for instance, I make more productions. Let's say I make up to 6,000 cupcakes in one production run. My cost will actually be lower than yours, right? Remember what I said? I pay lower rent. Maybe I'm actually operating from my very massive compound or my grandfather's compound, right?
Yeah,
So it makes my rent lower. I buy in bulk, so I
yeah.
get discounts, and my production run is higher. That will reduce my unit production cost, right?
Okay.
If you copy me, my profit will be higher. Let's say after making my cupcakes, I'm selling it at 2,000 naira. And you decide because I am selling at 2,000, Remember, I have about 3 things, 4 things going well for me. My rent is lower, my purchases are lower, my production is larger. If you copy me, you'll be running at a loss, right? Okay, let me put it this way. Let's just use rent. If my rent is 2 million naira and your own rent is 6.5 million naira, we do not have the same structure. That's our rent is different. So
Yeah.
when I'm trying to rake in money, I'm hustling to cover up my 2 million naira rent. You are working to cover up your 6 million naira rent. If you take my pricing, you will not be able to cover up, right? So copying your competitors' prices without understanding their cost will lead to unprofitable pricing. So when it comes to pricing decision, use your numbers, use your data, not someone else's data. And you see, that's the reason you need to gather your figures. That is, collate your figures, because it is from your figures will go down to do your costing and your pricing, not what the market trend, the competitors are doing. What the competitors are doing, just use it as a guide. It should not be your benchmark, right?
Wow.
Does that
Wow.
answer that question, Julian?
Yes, yes. Use competitors and market trends as guide, but it should not be your final cost or price for your product, because the costs of business A and that of business B are not likely to be the same. You said something about knowing the cost structure of your competition. This is not readily out there. So I think I would say what you are advising us to do is, yes, look at what you are seeing there, but make sure you capture all your own costs and use it to judge what your pricing and costing should be. Am I right or right?
Oh, you are you are right and right. You are fast becoming an accountant.
Thank you very much. And I hope you're learning. If this is making
Yes,
sense
sir.
to you, if you are getting value, we would like you to leave comments in the comment section, ask questions, leave contribution, repeat something that hit you, and spot your own gap. Look at the mistakes you have made. Look at the things that you skip. Write them down. We will be glad to get that from you. And you can also tell us where you're watching this from. We would like to know. So, how does knowing this cost help with sales and marketing?
Yes, this is your, I know this will be your best
You
question,
can see
right?
my voice
Now it
went
helps you
up.
determine, yes. So it helps you determine your sales target, right? Once you know your monthly running cost, you can calculate how much revenue you need to bring in through sales, how many units of products you have to sell. For service business owners, if you know what it costs you to run your operations on a monthly basis, it will help you also determine how much you need to bring in and the number of sign-ups or packages you need to sell. Then it will also further help you. You can break when you get these numbers. You know, if I know I can sell, if I know that my numbers is saying I should have to sell 1,000 items, I can break it down to monthly, weekly, and daily sales target. That way, my marketing effort or your marketing effort now has a clear goal, right? You are no longer guessing. So when I wake up on a Monday morning and my sales target for daily sales target says I should sell 16 products, I don't think you think I should be scrolling. I will look for where to sell 16 products. In short, let me tell you about a client. When I worked out a client's figures, she needs to sell 20 items on a daily basis, given her costs, her running
Yeah,
cost, right? To
yeah.
be profitable. Not that you must bring in, you have to bring in more than what your running cost is, right? She knew we worked it out. She has to sell 20 items on a daily basis. You know, when she was giving me her feedback, she said all the WhatsApp groups of the estate she has lived in, she has always been dormant. She came alive in those WhatsApp
She
groups.
became
She
active.
started talking to the Yeah, she started talking to the admin. Please, can I advertise my product? And sales started coming, right? So when you know the number, the quantity of product you have to sell on a daily basis, Julian won't even shout for you. She won't need to remind you to post, right? So a lot of us are lax. We are relaxed. We are just looking, what will I do? I don't know what to do. Whether you know it, how to do everything well or not, once you know that you have spent X amount in a month, nobody will push you to market your product. But when you don't know, you can actually relax, because just like they say, some people say ignorance is bliss, but you see in this case, once you know what it costs you to run on a monthly basis, that knowledge will wake you up every morning, noon, and night. So that's what it helps you do.
Judith, I will repeat this, and I'm going to hold you to it. We must do a video that is solely dedicated to this sales target thing, and we're going to show numbers, how this thing works.
Okay.
I will come back to you on
I'm
this.
with
It's
you
a
on
promise
that.
that we're making. You are in with you are
Okay.
in with me on this, right? So we're going to make this
Yes,
happen for
yes.
business owners, because when you did mine, that put fire in my legs, and put, in fact, it put fire in my legs and put fire in my heart. I wake up, maybe I even see myself in the dream hawking my services. All right. So you can't sit still by the time you realize that you're supposed to sell 10 products every day. And if you don't sell, like today, you don't sell 10, tomorrow you need to sell 20, so that at the end of the month, it makes sense. You can pay yourself, you can pay staff, you can pay for your lights and everything. So we need to understand this. Judith, please, that class should happen. All right, I'm counting on you
Okay.
to make it happen. One more or two more questions. I'm really enjoying this, and I believe that you as well, you are enjoying doing this for business owners in Africa. So for someone that is watching us right now, even if they can't see our faces, and that person feels lost financially in their business, what is one exercise they can start today? What is that thing they can do today to know their cost?
Okay. So the very first step you need to take, that
Judith,
person needs to
I
take,
can't
is this:
hear
write down
you.
your expenses.
Please speak up.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So, okay. The first step is very simple. Take a piece of paper and write down your expenses, right? Just group them in the categories you have. I would say, if you're a manufacturing business, what does it cost in overhead? Just put overhead and write what it's costing you on a monthly basis, the salary, your rent, all of those things. Now, your input material purchase, how much did it cost you? How much did you spend on buying raw materials and packages, right? Now, for production, after you have taken some part of the raw materials that you bought and packaging, how much extra did you spend to ensure that that production went through? Things like the fuel you bought and all of that, right? Now, for capital expenses, it's not as if you put all the machines that you bought. No, that amount, that depreciable amount, there's a little you can add. Now, you may not be able to do your depreciation. If you have an idea of how much all your machine costs, just take, let's say, 3% of what it costs. Add, because your machine is what you're using to run your business. Then other miscellaneous costs that it's not overhead, it's not, you didn't use it to buy input materials, it's not production expense, it's not capital, but just little expense. Group them as miscellaneous. Add all of this together. That's your monthly running cost for a manufacturing business. Now, for, let's say, a retail business, it will probably be what you spend. For instance, some retail business, they spend money on um, offloading, loading things on warehouse, offloading from truck, loading it on warehouse. You don't, your staff is not the ones doing it. Maybe you get ad hoc staff to get you to do all those things. All those little money, calculate them. They are your running cost, right? For a service-based business, it's basically your overhead, what you spend on your overhead, your rent, your salary, all the platforms you are paying for, your marketing ad or your marketing cost, all of them, put them together. That will give you what your running cost is. For the producer or the manufacturer, add all those together. Now the total becomes your running cost or your cost structure, and that is your recovery target. If it comes to 3 million naira, you already know that I have to bring in this 3 million naira first to cover all my costs and do more. Maybe I'll bring in more extra 500,000 or 1.5 million for me to safely say I'm profitable. You see, so this is the simple step I will advise you to take. Just write it down. Whether or not it's correct, it's just steps. You're a beginner. You don't need to get it right like a professional financial accountant or a professional financial person. Do the one you can. Look through your receipts. All the things you are scribbling somewhere, look through them. Think through also. But please, let's learn how to take things from, it's in my head, take it out from your head, start writing it down. So that's the simple step I will ask anyone to take, Julian.
All right, thank you very much, Judith. We will also include that in the description. So if you're watching this video, check the description. You will see a list of it. Judith, you have a PDF document. Permit me to also add it to the description of this video so they can download and see the grouping, because what you have explained now to some of us, people like me, to some of us, it might look a bit vague. Say it again.
Okay. I said to you, I spoke Latin.
Yes, in fact, Latin is good. You just spoke Greek. So we're going to just check the description. There will be a PDF guide. There will be a list of what you need to do. So please implement that today. And the very last question I have for you, Judith, is the message you want every business owner to remember, whether it's a nano business, small business, medium-sized business, even conglomerates. We are talking about know your costs, the hidden reasons why many businesses struggle with profit. What is that one message you want to leave? And I think in your subsequent videos, I will keep asking you these questions. What is that one message, that thing you want us to take away from here, like a charge? So you have the floor.
Okay, so one thing I would like you watching to take home is, I want you to know that your competitors are not your benchmark. Your numbers are, right? Your numbers should determine what you do. Every business has its own reality and its own cost structure. I want you to know that too. So the more you understand your numbers, the more confident and profitable your business decisions will become. And it all begins with knowing your cost. I want you to know your cost. See, instead of looking at your competitors and what they are doing and what they are charging, sit down with your numbers and look into them, group them, categorize them, think about them. That is one charge I will leave with you. That's one thing I want you to go and do. Just pick all your books and all your receipts and all your text messages or WhatsApp messages, wherever you spent money, pull them together, look at that numbers. If not for anything, if you don't take anything, when you look at that numbers, the one you're able to add together, just know one thing. This is the money I should recover before I will be able to make profits. Thank you very much, Julian. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Judy. She said, stay with your number. And dear business owner, if you cannot stay with your number all by yourself, right? We have put something together for you. And if this session exposed gaps, you have seen the foundation, especially in the money aspect, that you skipped. Now it's time for you to get them fixed. If you don't know your numbers, you don't want to fix it by yourself, even when you know your numbers, then we have money and marketing operating system where we work with you to fix this foundation. This is for serious business owners who want structure, no more theory. You've been hearing all these things. Application is open to very few business owners. Check the description for the link, or you send GFYWY, meaning done for you with you. We're not doing copy and paste. We're going to send you things and you send it back to us. Marketing and money are fused together. So we have put together this operating system to help you build your money and your marketing foundation. Apply now if you don't want to do it all by yourself. If you want to do it all by yourself, all well and good. If this made sense to you, join us, watch the next videos. We have series of explained classes and sessions. We want to help you fix your money, marketing, and digital foundation. Don't forget, we have other classes. Profit reality check is there. Costs and price breakdown is coming before we even talk about marketing and digital marketing. Thank you very much, Judith. Her introduction will be in the description as well. So I will leave you with this. Go and see it with your numbers. Thank you, Judith. Once again, we appreciate you for being on this call. I really love what you have done with us today. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome, Julian.